Hi, I'm just going to very quickly show you how to use one of my favourite apps on the iPad Pro, using my iPad Pencil to provide notes to students. So the app I want to talk to you about this afternoon is called Vittle Pro, and I think it's probably one of the best apps that's available on the iPad. So welcome Vittle Pro. Here's your kind of like desktop, and these are examples of little videos that I've actually created already. So we're going to start a new project. So to do that, you have to go to the top left and click New Project. And this just gives you some basic functionality, so you can rename and manage your vittles, you can duplicate, and you can also delete. So it allows you to do a little bit of housekeeping. So we're very simply going to start a new project. So I'm just going to click the screen. And as you can see, it's just giving me a whiteboard. And as with any other whiteboard, I have a number of tools in the top left. So I have Draw, I have Erase, and I have Select, and I have Add, and then I have some color options with different menus. So I can go in and I can change the color of what I'm actually doing. So it's really easy. So if we take Draw as an example, I have 3 presets for a drawing tool. So I can change the thickness and opacity for, imagine you've got different pens. So you can almost create a house style. So we just click Draw, and with the Apple Pencil, I'm having a conversation with a student, and as we go through the conversation, I am taking notes to support the student, so she understands what we're actually doing. Okay, and to change the color, I just go to the top and I can underline, and I can change the color really simply. If I'm not happy with what we've written or make an error, I just click Erase, and I just simply go in and delete what I've actually written. Perhaps I'm not happy with the placement of something on the page, so if I go Select, so I now have a lasso tool, and all I need to do is highlight the areas that I want to select, and using the pencil or using my finger, I can actually drag that anywhere I like on the screen and just release. The Add option is really cool. If you want to annotate some lecture notes or do something in advance and put your lecture notes in this, so if I go to Add Save Photo, if I take something from my own folder, so let's have a look, take my eldest at the Olympics. So that photograph goes in. If I just touch it once, it becomes live, and I can just drag that anywhere on the screen. 2 fingers on the screen, and moving them apart, I can actually resize that as well. And what I can then do is go in and I can actually draw around this, and I can start annotating and discussing that. So you can see how this can be used for feedback, but it's also really cool for just annotating lecture notes or possibly assessment criteria, or whatever really. You might be providing some additional support materials for the students. The screen is quite big, so again, just 2 fingers on the screen, I can move this around, so it's like a large canvas, and I can zoom it in, I can zoom it out. At the bottom, if I want to add another page in, I can just add multiple pages in, and then I can just use the navigation bars to work my way back to the beginning. It really is as simple as that. Now, this is where it becomes really good. If you go to the top and you click the information button, if I go to export, I can save this file or the numerous pages that I've created in this Vittle as a PDF. And in real time, oops, wrong one. I've changed that. I'm sorry, I've just distracted. I'm going to go back. Apologies, I'm not stopping. I'm going to go back to my Vittle. I want to go there. I did export. Export as a PDF. I picked the wrong one, so I'm just going to scroll across, and I can select email, and I can send those notes directly to the student that I've had the meeting with. So they have got real-time notes that have been taken, delivered straight into their inbox. And that, for me, represents high-impact guidance because it's immediate for them. Now, just show you another trick which is really cool as well. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to create a new project and do exactly the same thing again. But this time, I'm just going to do something slightly different, because I'm going to now record everything. So now this is capturing what I'm actually doing on the screen as a video, but it's also capturing any conversations that I'm having. So if we again do essay, let's take an example, it could be essay feedback, and you do your 3 points. Okay, you see I'm up to 29 seconds now, so this is capturing this as a small video. If I click stop, that has now saved it. So if I click view, you'll see that that scene that I've just created here, 34 seconds, now displays in the screen. If I click play at the bottom here, it will play in this screen. Now everything, because I'm already capturing the screen, this is capturing. The video will not play because I'm using my iPad Pro and record. But trust me, when this plays, the video that you've just created there will show. You then have a number of options. So you can save it to your camera roll on your iPad, and you can also share it. So depending on the size, you can email it direct to a student. And this is really good for students that might have a visual impairment or some special requirement. So it really does help them engage with your notes. You can save it directly to a Dropbox or to a OneDrive, from where you can actually share it out, or you can share it up to your perhaps your own YouTube channel. So if I close that, that takes me back. If I close that again, that takes me back. So there's the Vittle I've actually created. So I can go back in at any point and add more information to that, or actually share it. It's a very powerful little tool. But like I said, I think it's probably one of the best apps that's actually available for the iPad, and I've used it for student support, meetings with students, meetings with staff, and mentoring meetings. But I've also used it to provide guidance around assessment criteria. Here, for example, a discussion with a member of staff around high impact assessment and feedback. So again, you have a meeting with staff, that can go straight back. It's also pretty cool at conferences because you can sit there and if you click add, take a picture, you can add a photograph straight in and add it as you actually go along. The one thing I did forget to say was add text. So you can actually type in, if your handwriting's not that brilliant, you can actually type in text. And again, one finger, that can actually be moved anywhere on the screen. 2 fingers, it can actually be resized as well. So really simple, but a very, very powerful tool, which really does support high impact assessment, feedback, and support to students. So hopefully you might find it useful. So I'm going to come out of that now. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to press this little red button at the top, which stops the screen recording, and that saves it into my camera roll. And then I'm going to put this online via Recap.